Hello, my fantastic fellows. And in this one, I thought that I should do something a little bit different than my usual. You know how I've been doing that Toontown Reckoning series and all that jazz? I just been working very hard on it. I felt like I should do something different and look at old cartoons. And I thought I should just give myself a little bit of a build challenge. And I thought build something out of my favorite game right now, and my favorite game right now has been Happy Game, which I've been very interested on. Now Happy Game, let me tell you about it, is not a happy game. It is by far very creepy with some very disturbing imagery that the people can just find disgusting, and it's just, I don't know, it's in the same realm as Frambo and Little Misfortune, where you think it's this little cute game and it's actually is not. It's very creepy. So in the background, I am playing a little bit of the game and a gameplay that I just pulled out. I gave them the links right there if you want to watch this gameplay itself, but I will be basing off my build based on this song just because I found this the most fun and the most plausible for me. So I'm gonna be building this entire thing with the bunny, with the main character, and with the bell. And I will be explaining my process. I gave myself 4 hours, so let's get right into the build. So I first started with the terrain. Yeah, the terrain is by far the most important. If I don't get this right, the build won't look good. It's essentially what I'm basing off of the video game. So I first started with the terrain. I tried using the circle trick, so I'm over here, grab part of the ring gallery, just one ring, and sized it as big as I wanted to. Then I just used the circle like trick on the terrain and just pick some errors, fill some gaps because it wasn't perfect, and I tried to grab the entire ring, but the entire ring wasn't grabbed, so I had to re-grab the outer area of the ring. That way I could move the entire thing, and then I moved it. As you can see, trying to put it on correctly, otherwise it will be looking very disgusting. Then as you can see me, I'm building a little bit of a reference to see how their heights and lengths are gonna be in when I built them, just to make sure that they are not oversized. And I just use these as my reference. Now I first started with the boy, which I thought would be the easiest one. Turns out it was quite hard to build this one. I think by far it took me the longest, surprisingly. And I first started with this head and the body, as I just needed a reference. Then I wanted to build the eyes, but the eyes, like the pyramid shaped galleries, did not have the size that I wanted to go. They were quite big for what I wanted to build, so I grabbed the pyramid that had a little bit of a tip that could go a lot bigger or a lot smaller. And I used that to make the eyeball. Now I do know that I missed one of the pupils of the boys, 2 of them in fact, but I just couldn't make them just because, I don't know, like the build was already taking a lot of size and I couldn't stack many of the pyramid shaped galleries together, so I just used this pyramid and made the white circle and then the black ones for the pupils there. So I missed one of the pupils, but that's okay. Next, and then I just worked on the feet. I was gonna say next thing. No, I grabbed on the feet. I grabbed some weird shapes to make the feet. It was like a half circle or something like that. I don't remember. But next up, I did move to the bunny, and the bunny by far was the easiest one, just because I had a shape of what I wanted to look like, and I mainly used the circle of the primitive shape gallery. I just shaped it to be like oval shape, like or flatter. And as you can see me, I'm just building the body. It wasn't that bad. Then I wanted to make some custom ears, but then I just decided against it just because I wanted to save myself some time. So I just used the lovely half circle of that has a hole on it. Then I made the eyes the same way I did with the boys, but this time I wanted to give it that creepy shape. So I used some smaller pyramids, and the mouth was just the same deal. Well, actually I changed it up, but that's okay. Next up, I tried to build the bell. The bell came a little bit challenging just because it had a more unique shape. So I first used the half circle to get a shape of the body. Then I used other like a 1/4 of the circles just to get those like outer parts of the bell. I used a circle to build like the little graph for the bell, and I just tried to make sure that that shape was correct, and it wasn't like there wasn't any depth behind it, because like that will be looking weird. And next up, I try to make one of the flying feathers, and you can see that the wings right there. I used just one of the half circles, but I will be using a lot in this build. Next, I worked on a flower for the terrain and some mushrooms to go along with it, as it will give the map a little bit more life. Then I put the boy in the map and just reminisced of it. I don't know why I thought this looked good. I looked at the building and I looked at the flashing rings, and it does not look good. Not at all. But I just put the bet down. I think I was thinking of that. Anyways, I put the bunny, I got the entire bunny and just placed it on the map. I wanted to tilt it just to make sure that it fitted the terrain, as it had this weird tilting shape to it. And then I fixed the bell's math, as it didn't like it due to the fact that it looked kind of bad. And then I just tried to angle the bell so it fit into the terrain and remove the rings. Then I made another flower looking left because the other one looked right, and I wanted to make it look not symmetrical. As you can see, I'm shifting left and right of the flowers. I have it on my health bar. Now I did this for the most of the challenge just because of how many flowers I had to place, and I couldn't do the circle tricks on these. I will let you hear some of my despair while at it. I think I go overboard with it. Wasn't that bad.
Guys, I've been recording this so far, and I just want you to know, guys, that my eyes hurt. Oh my god. Look, I'm looking at this while looking at the sun. Oh my god, my eyes hurt so badly. Oh my god, man. My brain is stripping right now. Like, I'm putting things backwards. Like, I forget where what left is and what right is. I swear. This is so confusing to me. It's insanity. I'll keep working. I'm almost done anyways. Oh my god.
You know what the drill is? I kept putting on flowers and flowers and flowers. I think this took by far the most time just because it was in place. But next up I moved to the carrot just because I needed 3 carrots to make sure that it does look like the map without being touched yet by the player. And I just built them pretty generic. I used only 3 shapes and 4 colors, which wasn't that bad. It was actually, I kind of had the most fun making the carrots, to be honest. Next up, I wanted to have a bigger outer terrain ring just because it would allow me to zoom out without it looking weird. So I just did that. I grabbed the entire ring. It had less items than the other ring, so I could move it a lot easier if I made a mistake. Of course, I did not make that mistake, and it looked seamless. And there we go. I just make the sun, and that's pretty much it. So you guys tell me if you like these challenges. Again, 4 hours. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't not at all. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little build challenge. And please stay tuned for more.